Alright, I'm good.
He's good.
Good.
Alright.
That was a noise.
God damn it. Alright, I think we're good. So I turned the mic down 3 decibels. So hopefully it'll sound better as a result. Because it was probably close to peaking and that's why it sounded like garbage. So we'll see.
Oh, Biggs.
I didn't actually test it. So, dude. So we're on this map with the brush. Great. Great. I hope you have plenty of discussion topics, Gavin. Because I'm gonna need to be distracted from such a cacophony of garbage.
I mean, there's things I can talk at length about, sure.
Alright, good. Because I actually have some stuff. Oh, God!
Do you want to go first or will I?
I mean, I don't know. I have a list of stuff. I have a list of stuff.
I'll go for it then.
Question is, do we want to go in order or not? Because I feel like I know one of the things you want to talk about, so we could just knock out a duo.
Alright, we'll go for it.
Alright, Cyberpunk, at Cyberpunk Game.
The
Twitter account for the game Cyberpunk, presumably. Wasn't that shown at like the very end of Sony's E3 or something? And people were like, "Oh!"
Microsoft.
Yes. So people were like, "Oh!"
I just tried to run away from that bomb and put like a steelhead, a snake perfectly positioned itself to bounce me straight back into it.
I'm gonna be real, I have no idea what the fuck Cyberpunk is, but they made a tweet that was like essentially, did you just assume their gender joke on those?
Yeah.
And of course, no good came out of it. And I read that they doubled down and were like said sorry you were offended. I couldn't actually find it though.
They said sorry you were offended, but I wonder how much of that is doubling down versus being a Polish developer and thus not having the best grasp of English. I don't know. It depends if like CD Projekt Red are running the account themselves. Like the assuming gender joke, that's entirely on them. The sorry if we offended thing sounds like it could be as much just them not getting the like why that wording sounds dodgy.
Well, I mean, I have to imagine they understand that phrase because.
I mean, I assume whoever like was on the account until they presumably got fired today, well, like understood. I wonder if the next person did.
I guess
understood.
You know what, that kind of makes sense. Like, because there's no other context for that phrase. I think.
Yeah.
And then of course, sorry you're offended is like, oh my god. So it
was sorry if you were offended by what we said, and yeah, it's like that's a non-apology.
And then they made a formal apology tweet. It was like, we didn't mean to hurt anyone or something. And it's like, well,
yeah.
I feel like
I feel like on the part of the developers that's probably true because social media manager.
Yeah, that's what
fuck runs the account.
That's what I was gonna say actually. Like, what if it was just the social media manager? You know?
Yeah, because there's only usually is like considering like CD Projekt Red work out hard with like Bandai Namco. I'm not even sure if they run their own accounts or if like the publisher handles that or not. Either way, the fact that they let that be associated with them is rather unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah. Now people, I don't know what the game is like at all or whatever, but now people are.
It's presumed to just be a CD Projekt Red RPG.
Now people are kind of assuming that like the game's gonna have writing like that or something. I'm not gonna buy that game.
Now people are doing that because the tweet angered them, and fair enough. But like going like, oh, the game's automatically gonna be like, oh, transphobic horseshit because a social media manager was a bit of a cunt. Like, come on. Especially since Witcher 3 was like remarkably progressive in points.
And didn't Doom do something like that recently?
No, people thought Doom did something like that recently.
What did they say?
Some lunatics on Twitter, like, began because like they made the crack. They're making cracks as they do, but like you just kill all demons all the time forever, and some people just like interpreted that as like one of the local quotes saying like I think it was like something like demon isn't their word or something like that. It was a crack about how like the demons don't see themselves as the villains or some shit, and people began taking that and other shit. And when I say people, I mean like 12 people began taking that and other shit as like these are cracks at like social justice jokes and shit like but
I feel like the wording was a lot more specific.
I don't know, because like I did see what they were pissing about, and I don't see it myself. Like I don't get it.
I remember seeing it and being like, oof, ooh, just why would you tweet that?
It's also like rather. I don't think you can like go like, oh, they must be like that sort of person, considering the last game they promoted the shit out of was Wolfenstein 2, which absolutely loved just filling all of its advertising with the words "kill Nazis."
Well, yeah, but that's different because Nazis are bad.
I don't know, but like what I'm saying is like saying like, oh, they must be like that sort of like right wing, like offensive cunt. Yeah, like it doesn't gel. Is what I'm saying.
Probably this one. Definitely too late though. Nope, it's the one at shore. Great. Might as well open it. I don't even have any ink. If only I didn't have this weapon.
Why is there so many Cohogs? God damn.
So yeah, that's definitely a thing that's been happening.
I mean, these things are no. It's going to be like edgy fucks everywhere. So.
Oh yeah, and then the replies are just, oh god.
Replies are always just, oh god.
And all the people who actually are transphobic come in and, oh god.
Did you know this is literally my freedom of speech you are transgressing on right now by saying that's pretty shit to say?
Like, oh, so fragile, and I'm just like, I don't know, man.
There is no one more fragile on this earth than right-wingers. Like, there's no one more fragile than those. In a similar vein, because, like, Twitter just insists on dumping tweets from the timelines of people who are, like, connected to people you are connected to. I've seen like a lot of pissing about like basically people taking grants and saying if you like curse or support or whatever Shadman, like don't follow me or whatever, and it's kind of like I kind of wonder what sparked this off, because it's kind of like I feel like that's a given, and in the sort of circles, because like these come from like either yours or Moldy's friends.
You said. Oh my god!
It's basically I don't know them, but I kind of want to just like.
I'm like, is Gavin gonna support Shadman on stream? No? Please don't.
Jesus fuck no.
Okay, thank God, because I was like, Jesus oh my god.
No, my point is like, I don't get the point of like just regularly posting like, oh fuck this guy sort of thing.
The thing is, recently
there's absolutely no one in your immediate circle who would support that. I can just hail that from a fucking given. They play Kirby games. They're not gonna fall for that shit.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And basically, what I'm saying is like,
why do they keep repeating? Don't follow me.
Yeah, why do you keep repeating this? Why do you keep reminding me that this
you'd be
fucker
surprised.
exists?
You'd be surprised. There are some people in a mutual kind of community that all of us are in that did end up kind of like that. So.
So you just. Well, I mean, hey, you find a bunch of pedophiles, root them out, kill them.
Just because, yeah, basically it was like his account got suspended for like 30 minutes, so that was the news. And then now
I thought he was arrested last year.
Well, something about him fleeing the country or whatever, but that wasn't recently. But now recently he made a quote wholesome comic about Waluigi, like why he's not in Smash or something.
It all comes back to Waluigi.
That isn't. No. No. But like, you know,
I'm just saying, man. If Shadman's a Waluigi fan,
no lewd or not safe for work stuff. So people were like, oh, and then yeah, there are people like, I didn't even know that was from Shadman because people repost everything all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, and then of course it brings up the whole argument of, oh, separate the art from the artist because this is wholesome, even if Shadman isn't. And I'm like, I haven't even read the comic, honestly. I'm just like, whatever.
I've seen it about, but I didn't read it. I just seen people pissing about it and just pissing about him in general. I'm just kind of like, why? Like,
Again,
why?
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Like, I don't want to hear about this shit. Just like, fuck off. But then, Twitter keeps putting it in my goddamn timeline. Because, hard work a social media site, we don't know. Apparently, it's just unknowable how to do this.
Yeah, and I'm just sick of seeing hentai that Gavin likes all the time, but you don't hear me complaining about
That's
it.
not the words you said to me in private.
What?
That's not what you said to me in private. Last I heard, you had some choice words to say about the size of those asses.
Maybe we shouldn't have opened with this. I feel like we shouldn't have opened with all the quotes, political, end quote stuff.
Fucking political.
Yeah, I know. Just whatever. People, am I right? Either way. Although, speaking of, Luke's kind of unsavory about that, I think.
You outing your friend as a right winger on
not a right winger, but just like, he's kind of the person that is like him and his brother, kind of the people who are like,
okay. I have a friend like.
What's so bad about saying this word?
Okay, he's not like that. Like, the friend I'm with knows it's bad to say things. He just knows those are like saying it for humor.
Well, that's the thing, exactly. Sorry,
he knows it's bad. He wouldn't genuinely say it to people. He just makes the jokes anyway because edgelord.
Yeah, basically, kind of what Luke's like. Like, how you can name your file and your Yoshi in 1,000 Year Door, and
yeah.
I don't even know if I want to say it, but
I assume some manner of.
It's like, can you not do that?
My friend doesn't actually go ahead and do it, but he just jokes about doing it.
And then, of course, people will be like, hey, you should separate yourself from him. I was like, I'm gonna, I might try to just tell him to not, at least around me.
Just because, pack that shit in.
I am just kind of like, come on.
That friend of mine, did join us on, some recordings things. Me and David, both, half jokingly, half seriously told him, don't be racist. And he just said, hey, okay, come on. He's like, what was it? You're assassinating my characters. Like, no, we're not.
Yeah, no, it's just about...
It was all in jest. But
it's like that kind of shock value was just like... That got old.
It stops being shocking after a while.
Yeah, once I passed the age of maybe 14 or 15. And then, by that point, some of the things just accidentally, stuck around because it was, habitual, and then I scrubbed it. This is not good, by the way. All of us are pushed back here.
We can't get anywhere because I'm trying to snipe things and then a taxi appears and punches me in the face. And it's like,
did you have the jetpack?
I don't know what I had. If you mean someone used it, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could have been helpful. Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. 1,000 Year Door is it's better than I thought because Luke's still playing through it.
What do you mean? Didn't you play it?
Yeah, I know. I already explained this. I played it. I liked it. Then the internet, 1,000 Year Door fans started being shitheads. So I kind of started going, eh.
You began blaming the game for.
No, I'm just saying people are like, this is the best game of all time, and then I'm like, well, is it? So then I start thinking critically about it and being like, that part wasn't that good. That part wasn't that good either. That part also wasn't that good, and then that kind of creates a cloud that grows bigger and bigger over the sunshine that is the enjoyment of the game. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense, but I feel like you should never be like that for things.
The 1,000 Year Door fans anger me a lot. They are just so obnoxious. So biased, just don't want to hear anything. So that's why I feel like I need to have counter
I
arguments.
mean, I feel like you
prepared.
could just slip in, instead of like 1,000-year door fans, you could just say Nintendo fans.
No, this is specifically the 1,000-year door fans.
Even among this camp.
Very specifically. Either way,
That's amazing.
either way, like chapter 1 wasn't as bad as I remember. Chapter 2, which I thought was like the pinnacle of shit, it's still low tier for a Paper Mario chapter, probably the lowest tier, but it wasn't.
I really like chapter 2. I thought it was like fun and interesting.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Like the tree wasn't as.
I also like love the aesthetics of it.
I don't know. The tree wasn't as big and long as I thought it was. You know, like there were less rooms than I thought. And you only did the bubble thing like once. I could have sworn you did it twice, and you don't blow them around as much as I thought. There aren't that many spiders, stuff like that.
It sounds like you did just begin imagining it being a lot worse just because people say things about Paper Mario.
And then chapter 3, I always liked chapter 3 because it was curious.
Chapter 3 is the glitz pit,
Yeah,
isn't it?
watching it.
Yeah, that's a fucking god tier.
Watching it, I was kind of like, you know, I do like. I think the thing is, Luke didn't really like chapter 3 at all because it just
Shit,
it
tis.
seemed like I think his reasoning was for him it was very long. Like he did the Pit of 100 Trials like 3 times to get to 450. So that's like one battle after the other, and then in the Glitz Pit you have to stop to read an email from X, and then go to the drink, and then go to the
have to
telephone.
Take part of a plot.
Yeah, I know, I know, but he wasn't really a fan of that. And I mean, I don't know. Obviously it doesn't really have as much intrigue when you know what happens. But,
That's a given. Yeah.
so I'm just like, I'll just pretend the mystery's good. I don't really remember thinking of it that much. I was just like, I like the diverse battles and.
I didn't care about the mystery. I was like more just for like the wrestling.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Not wrestling.
It is
They're
wrestling.
battles. I was so mad though.
The fact that Rockhawk is like a taken Hulk Hogan is fucking cosmic knight. He's like a mad racist. Or like openly a mad racist, I mean.
I like how Rock Hawk says that he like cheats and doesn't play fair, but I think like is going on the rafters really cheating? That's the only thing he does to cheat.
It's one of those like pro wrestling things where like people do things like make referees view the other way or take things from outside the strict arena to fight. That's like technically like foul play, but professional wrestling is used for drama because it's all about telling little stories.
The Rock Hawk doesn't do any of that. He's like very obviously strong, and like he does several backflips onto the wall, then kicks off the wall to dive into you and punch you with both fists. Is that cheating, or is he just strong?
No, that's a super move. But like I assume like the cheating was shit like rigging matches against you and
The only,
like,
I mean,
jumping into fights and shit and whatever.
all he does is send empty threats that no one believes and then send you a poison cake. Sorry, spoilers, but yeah.
I mean, doesn't he like make someone else like try and tag in on one of your fights to fuck you
No,
up?
I mean, you're probably thinking of Bowser, who just comes in. Because he heard, I quote, I heard some mustache doofus was at the Glitz Pit, and look what I find. Oh, I love it. Everyone loves Mario's mustache in that game. It's the best.
Yeah.
Like stash is a stat in like the Mario and Luigi games, but I feel like the Paper Mario games reference it a lot more.
I mean, a lot more directly, yeah.
And Chapter 4 is still like my favorite chapter in the entire series, and everyone pans it for being.
Which one is?
That is the Dupless one.
Okay. That's a pretty good one.
And Luke was nonplussed by that because of the backtracking.
People heard not
Every-
with backtracking, no attention span.
Everyone, I mean, it was back and forth. It is literally back and forth. Like, I'm like, Luke did the beginning part of Chapter 5, which is like more heinous in my mind because it's not as interesting. But in Chapter 4, it is like you go to the steeple. The steeple's pretty small, so you don't spend that much time there. So then you go back to the town and, do one thing, and then you go back to the steeple, and then you go back to the town to do one thing, and then you go back to the steeple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is like, you know, at least in Chapter 5, you do spend time in the grotto after all the backtracking. Chapter 4 is pretty much entirely backtracking, but the storytelling and, like, you know, just everything else about it, I
The
still love
gimmick
so
of
much.
like the guy like literally, you know the gimmick.
Yeah.
Like
And then, you
that
know,
was
Vivian.
fucking fantastic. I love that.
It's amazing because Luke hasn't been spoiled for it at all. Like, he literally knows nothing about the Thousand Year Door somehow. So it's so entertaining.
Being a friend of you, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, he probably has just forgotten anything else I said. Where are they? Oh, we aren't winning.
No, we're not.
I feel it was partially his brother, who also apparently hasn't seen the Thousand Year Door at all. Just kind of coming down, being like, "You're still doing this?" I'm not, because I talked to Luke about it. I'm like, "Do you really not like it?" And he kind of sounded like he was just humoring his brother by like doing that. He's saying like, "You know, I was laughing as I was saying it." I'm like, "Okay," because he's like, "I am enjoying the game," and he did offer to, you know, keep playing it, of course. So. It's just very curious. I am liking the Thousand Year Door a lot more. So we'll see with chapters 5, 6, 7, and probably 8, honestly. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
You think he's just gonna drop it?
No, I mean, like, it probably is only gonna be like 2 chapters this time. Because I spent like 2 days there last time instead of 1. I never did a follow-up for the Twitch Prime thing, where they're removing removing ads.
I mean, we only talked about it last time, so your chance now would only be the first chance to do a follow-up.
What? No, I mean,
did a follow-up.
I haven't talked about it yet.
Okay.
Usually follow-up should come first, right? I don't know.
No, not necessarily.
But, yeah, I recently learned today that Twitch actually paid the creators for, like, ghost ad watches. So basically, people with Twitch Prime don't watch ads, but Twitch still counts it as if they did watch an ad, and then pay the creator that money. Which is such a stand-up thing, right? Like, incredible, amazing. Twitch, the best company of all time, and then, you know, removed. So, that's really shitty, actually. It's a lot shittier than I thought. I thought it was just like, it wasn't, you know, the creators weren't going to be affected at all. They actually are. They are negatively affected.
Well, yeah, that was a given.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't think so. If, like, they weren't paid for the ads that the people didn't watch, then...
No, I mean, like, because with the thing with, like, them removing, like, Twitch Prime users are just going to have to watch ads now anyway. Less people will buy Twitch Prime, which means less sub-tokens.
That too.
Which means less money to be given to creators.
Also, I was thinking, like, you know, if you have to watch an ad, you're, like, I don't know how many people are like this, but probably, like, less likely to watch the stream. Like, oh, I have to watch an ad, I'll go do something else.
Yeah. Especially since some of Twitch's ads can be piss-takingly long.
Yeah, apparently I haven't watched a Twitch ad since ad block.
There's also been, like, stuff... I mean, like, my ad blocker for a while just didn't work on Twitch for some reason. It does now. But there would also be instances where the player would glitch and you would be stuck in an endless ad loop. And it would just keep looping ads and you had to, like, refresh the player and hope it didn't get stuck this time.
That's good. Twitch's player is probably better nowadays, but... Yeah, that just sucks, really. Good job, Amazon.
Highly recommend stop buying things from over.
Too bad. Bitch.
Find alternatives, they exist.
Oh, it's going for them. There's another one.
I keep getting the grenade sniped. Fuck you both.
Oh wow. Oh boo hoo. Oh.
No, I don't mean because they're stealing my items. I'm saying fuck you both as in haha I won.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because all three of us threw
asshole.
grenades, and yeah,
Fuck
each
you.
time the grenade, like the resulting eggs for killing it, went into me.
Yeah, you aren't gonna. Nothing that happens is gonna win you my favor. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
That one random boy has returned. Have you considered changing your name to Dat One Random Boy? How old is that boy? Is that like a year?
Don't know what you mean.
The frog on the unicycle, and everyone said, "Oh shit, it's that boy."
I have no idea.
And memes are a dime and a dozen.
Ah, that was a crack shot and a half.
Well, it wasn't on the Mary Poppins, so
That was on a snake. Dead like our dreams. Yeah. Anyway. Do you have other things on your list?
yeah. Remember? Wait, did we talk about that last time, or was that off stream?
You haven't said what it is.
Shh. Discord selling games. This is old news, by the way.
Oh, you told me about this like
After the
last
stream,
time,
yeah, we didn't talk about it ever, but
I still don't know anything about it. So.
Discord is basically selling games like Steam, and they said they're going to curate it, and you can basically just like Steam, but Discord.
Well, no, because Steam doesn't curate.
Well, you know what I mean. Like you buy the game, and then you play it on that software, which is Discord.
Yeah.
It's
Discord
also
is like basically building an overlay. Is what you're saying.
yeah, for games. Buy.
Fair play to them.
I'm like,
the market is wide and open.
yeah, I'm like, this is great because I feel like Discord will be an actual Steam competitor. They aren't biased towards.
It has the best odds, more or less.
They aren't biased towards their own games. They aren't only doing it to so you don't buy them on Steam, so they get more money. You know what I mean? Like Ubisoft, basically.
I mean, Ubisoft would just want you to buy it on their own shit.
Yeah, so that they don't have to make the cut with Steam. This sucks. But yeah, and honestly, it's just probably comfy to just have it all on Discord. So you have your chat, and you have your game all in one spot.
Yep, and you can just screen share out of Discord now.
And they curate games, which is
fucking critical as hell.
Valve removing that was like actually the worst thing they've ever done.
Well, the thing is, the funniest part about it is that they said we're not going to curate games anymore, and then immediately after the porn visual novel thing happened, where they began curating games on the word of like a racist, like insane conservative Christian organization that pretends to care about like women's rights and shit, when really they just don't want sex things anywhere. And their definition of sexting is extremely wide. Yeah, like, Valve is a trash fire.
I'm looking forward to Discord.
It'll be interesting. It depends what they have, though.
It just sucks that, well, they have like a beta out right now. They have, the usual stuff you'd like basically a lot of the big.
I don't know if it's the usual stuff either.
A lot of the big well, yeah, the general populace look like all the big indie games that are out, stuff like that. Can't imagine that anyone who would sell on Steam wouldn't sell on Discord as well.
Basically, if you sell on good old games, that you're guaranteed to be on Discord too, probably.
That too, yeah. So it'll probably have a wide library. The only game I remember from the scroll wheel of games was Super Meat Boy, though, which is just a staple of digital video gaming. But yeah, I think it'll be good, even though I have 400 games on Steam. It's probably more than that, isn't it?
I don't know, probably.
I have a lot of games on Steam, so like switching might be difficult, but at the same time, whatever.
I mean, it's not like you're just going to uninstall Steam, just keep it around.
Yeah, I know.
Don't buy shit on it anymore.
It's just like, Steam could be your game thing. You boot up Steam with the games. I don't know. I think I'm willing to let go of that. Just kind of awkward to have a split game library. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm used to that because I just have always like tons of consoles and shit all the time. So, like basically every generation, I always have the PlayStation and the Nintendo entry.
Well, I mean, I think that's a bit different though, right? Because you know what games are on your PlayStation, and you know what games are on your Nintendo, that's for sure. Whereas this is like...
It's the same principle.
Alright, I want to play this PC game. Was it on Steam or was it on Discord?
I don't know, I feel like I would, like, at least I would keep track of that pretty easily.
It's like, you know, oh, I want to play, I was going to say Mario Kart 8.
Just mentally catalog it.
Not true, but... Oh, I want to play Splatoon 2. Wonder what that's on. It's exciting though, really. I wonder if they'll have like the old Steam sales too.
Eventually, probably.
And have fun with them again too, like have achievements specifically for the sale.
I don't think Discord will get that. Maybe they will eventually. I don't know, but I don't like it. I feel like that one will be like a ways out.
I want that though.
So you have to build that sort of thing, but you have like the interface like properly working fully.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Steam, this is Valve and Amazon. The villains.
Trash fires.
The villains.
Stop buying them. Eat the rich.
They've gotten too big.
Too big and too complacent.
And eventually Discord's gonna get too big.
Eventually. That's why we'll burn it down and replace it with the next one. This is the cycle of capitalism.
Seems like it. It's just why does everyone hate the rich? It's just kind of unfair.
I've seen people genuinely say that, and my answer is just always, how the fuck do you exist? Fucking manner of like corporate bootlicker has to say that sort of thing.
Too big for your britches. Ugh. It's really funny. Do you think like if Valve didn't make Steam, they would still make games?
Probably, honestly, yeah. 'Cause they would need something to survive on.
Yeah. They'd be like, you know, Sega, but for PC games.
I mean, they'd probably, like, maybe they'd still end up in the route where they just, like, release Dota 2 and then just survive off of its microtransactions or whatever. Or Counter-Strikes, but they would eventually, like, have to make occasional smaller games or...
What the fuck?!
Other standalone games in and around just to keep themselves, like, you know, solvent.
Fuck! We could have won.
You fucked it.
You know how it has that dumbass bowl that blocks literally every shot that's...
You shoot visibly at the bomb, but it hits something, and then just nothing happens.
If your shot is, like, less than 45 degrees, then it just doesn't work at all. Like, great. I want to talk about another thing that's been going around Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
So did you see the tweets that were like this this person got into NASA, like they got an internship for NASA. And they were like, I got into fucking NASA or something.
I did.
And then, oh god, I should remember his role. I know his name's like Homer Hickam or whatever. He's like he's pretty high up in NASA basically. And then he replied with language. And then the person replied with, something vulgar. I really should remember this. It's like, shut the fuck up, something like that,
Yeah.
And then Homer's like, I'm this position in NASA. And then, a bunch of fallout happened. Or people...
I mean, if the guy got fired, then, like, all I can say is, like, good job, jackass.
People are like, serves you right, stuff like that. But here's the interesting thing. Homer wrote on his blog that, it wasn't him. He didn't get her fired. His position has nothing to do with employment. And he actually said, he understands...
What it is probably like, if it became like a little bit of a shitstorm, then whoever does control that inevitably saw it and went like, well, we gotta cut this loose.
Yeah. But Homer's like, I'm actually like I'm talking to people to get the job back because I understand.
Don't do that.
I understand that they're excited. Apparently, it was like their friend. I don't really know about that because
It doesn't matter. Like, if the jackass like began swearing to someone high up in the company and got fired, that's just what happens.
Because I don't know. It could have been the friend. It could have also been like, oh well, it was my brother. I swear.
Yeah, I know. Like,
that's why I'm skeptical.
No way to prove that.
But
you shouldn't try and give him like, oh, here's his job back. If he went and sassed someone who's like top of the company and you got fired for that, that's just what fucking happens. You don't sass the people above you.
Well, the thing is,
Homer
wasn't offended by it at all.
Doesn't matter. Though?
And also, like, he apparently talked with them after the whole thing.
Like, it's indicative of behavior.
He was like, this person like definitely knows their shit. That would be great to have, that kind of thing. Maybe they did talk, and then they
there comes a point where you have to like balance like skill versus like, is their personality worth putting up with?
I mean, but like going by his blog post and like how they apparently talked, maybe it actually was their friend or something.
So it sounds kind of like a Sea of Thieves thing because he doesn't want to be blamed for getting him fired.
Maybe, I don't know. But if not, that'd be sick.
He shouldn't, like, if it was him, he shouldn't be reinstated because, like, Twitter got in a tizzy about it. Because, like, you just don't do that shit. Like, that's just common sense. You don't just piss off the people who sign your fucking payslips. And you might go like, well, if he's not going to do it for employment, it doesn't matter. If he's like a high in the company, he basically is doing that. What other Twitter dramas?
That's what we're gonna start talking about now. Is my next thing? No, it's not. It's just something else I saw on Twitter that would get you off.
Get me off?
Yeah. So I'm kind of afraid to say it. It's one of those topics, you know what I mean?
The topic that makes me angry?
No, the topic that gets you talking about a game I know nothing about.
Oh, is it something about Devil May Cry 5?
Yeah.
I already know when it's coming out.
I didn't look at those screenshots or whatever at all. I just heard that Dante uses his motorcycle as a sword, and I'm like,
yep,
that's really cool.
That's like, welcome to Devil May Cry. It's fucking sick as hell. Also, the like added mid-air taunting now, which is just like, oh my Jesus fuck.
Oh, we need one more egg. Someone has it. Oh,
wow. Well, no, they don't. They're over there doing a dance, and they've wasted all this time.
Well, we lost because of you.
We lost because of that dipshit over there.
Maybe if you didn't die. This is a really not good salmon run.
Nope.
What are we at, like 350 now or something? We're still at 400, are you kidding me?
Because we can't get in the wave 3 at least.
Oh my god. Unbelievable.
But, like, Gamescom was brought with it, like, the tidings of news, and there'll be more GR'd, I'm sure. Devil May Cry 5 is, like, March... I forget exactly, I think March 22nd.
Oh, is that why people are talking about Luigi's Mansion all of a sudden? Because they announced that at Gamescom.
Yeah, they announced the release dates there at Gamescom.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently last year they announced both DLC for both ARMS and Splatoon.
I mean, that's all they've announced so far. Nintendo are doing like their usual, hey, we got a bunch of shit on display. And like a new trailer for like Demon X Machina and other shit as well.
As long as that's not it. We all knew it was going to be released around Halloween anyway.
This is day one of Gamescom, you know?
How long is it? I don't know, actually.
It usually goes for like 4 days.
Like, I've heard the name. I have heard nothing significant about it until yesterday. Where Nintendo...
Because you're American as fuck. Gamescom is the second biggest games convention on the planet.
Compared to what?
Like, any games convention, it dwarfs like
no,
E3
you said
like
second.
2 or 3 times. So, I mean, the biggest one, if I remember right, is like, I forget the name of it. But it's in Taipei, and it usually has like 500,000 or 600,000 people a year visit.
How come I've never heard of it?
Gamescom weighs in with like I don't know, because you're extensively racist by being American. But
what's the name, Gavin?
yeah, I mean, it's like Taipei Game Show or something like that. I forget the exact name.
So I've at least heard of Gamescom.
Gamescom is, the big European game show.
Game show?
And, yeah.
It's a game show?
It's not that. You know what I mean.
Wait. Oh! No, I actually misinterpreted. I'm like, oh, suddenly it's a game show and they're announcing games at it? Okay, I got it. I got it now. Because you know how much those Europeans love their game shows.
We don't really, but sure.
There's Japanese people too. It was entirely possible. Japanese game shows kind of out there though.
Anyway, yeah, Gamescom was like, hello, Botanic Siege.
Hey, it's Trey.
And yeah, so the Gamescom was like one of the fucking biggest ever. So we're going to be like news over the next few days.
Oh,
Devil May Cry 5 is March 22nd. New trailer, new details. It looks sick. It sounds sick. David is like either playing it right now or will be playing it shortly because he's actually there on the show floor. The piece of shit.
I genuinely don't believe it's bigger than E3.
Well, you can, it's like saying I don't believe the Earth isn't flat because guess what?
I mean, then why doesn't Nintendo announce all their games and Sony announce all their games at Gamescom then?
Because E3 is the one set in America, and hard is America is the only one that matters. Everyone else literally doesn't exist at games companies. The other major thing is that Gamescom is open to the public, whereas E3 is like private, so they can like control the flow of shit a lot more easily, and control the news cycle and stuff. Whereas when it's open to the public, fucking like a free for all, off you go.
Doesn't that mean E3 is bigger then?
No.
If it needs to
E3
control
has,
the public.
E3 at its what?
If it needs to control the public, doesn't that mean it's bigger?
What do you mean if it needs to control the public?
Because if it was open, then it would be hell. Everyone would join.
And when we say like bigger, we literally mean in terms of like reach and the amount of people who attend it. The size of the convention is like literally goddamn gigantic. Like E3 might get more significant news most of the time.
I feel like
it's
big,
like in terms of actual game convention sizes, it's not that big.
I feel like big implies like influential.
I mean, it does have more influence because it reaches so many more people.
I don't know, man. I feel like announcing Super Smash Bros. Has more influence than.
There's like announcing it and then there's letting a good 400,000 people actually play it.
What, where they have to wait in line for 5 hours?
Well, actually, you don't. Because Gamescom has a lot of like actual like intricate ticketing systems, basically.
Yeah, fast
They give you like
pass.
a guaranteed. They give you like a guaranteed slot. Like you turn up to the thing, you get like this. David explained this to me. Like using Kingdom Hearts 3 as an example. You turn up to the thing, you get a ticket, and it says, on this day at this time, turn up, and you'll get like your fucking half-hour, 1 hour slot to play the game or whatever.
Well, if only E3 had that, apparently.
When like. Oh, and then that's just like off you go. Like it's pretty rad, and like fucking Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Sekiro, like they're all there and playable at Gamescom.
Who? What?
Like which one are you saying what to?
The one that I've never heard of.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
The samurai game from
Oh! I have heard of that one.
You have heard of that one. We've talked about it on here before.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a name, It's the Gamescom to The Last of Us's E3.
Why did the snipers never leave me alone? But yeah, no, like, it's gonna be a lot of good shit. David's there, he's gonna actually get to play him because he's on holiday with his girlfriend there. Fuck, I hate him for it.
What, for having a girlfriend?
No, for being there and playing the game. He's gonna get to fucking play all these like mad early, and they actually experience them and shit, and then he's just gonna like lord it over me until the games actually come out.
Well, I would never do
Fucker.
that. No, I wouldn't.
You would.
'Cause I would play games you're not interested in. I'd
Oh,
be
yeah,
like,
you would go to the Nintendo booth and you'd never leave.
I start talking about it, you'd be like, I don't care. I'd be like, oh, okay. Alright, yeah.
Except that's what you do to me, not the other one. Like I let you talk about your fucking Paper Mario and shit.
Well, have you played Paper Mario?
You just go dead silent and then just let me talk at the air.
Have you played Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door?
Yes.
Well, there we go. Wow, more money. Just good stuff all around. Maybe one day. I wonder how much gear I have.
Probably like a good 100 pieces by now, surely.
I mean, like relative to like having all of it. I kind of stopped like doing the Splatnet store and getting the ones that I know I don't own because there are just too many of them. Cool it, chum. You haven't even ordered anything yet. I feel like this, like the same half people are in my lobby from when I last played multiplayer.
Yeah, most likely.
For like the past 6 months. That's good. Gotta get on there and get it updated. Alright, when's the next Salmon Run? Oh my god, I didn't take a picture of this one, did I? God. I'm such a failure. 23 at 2 a.m. 24 at 8 a.m. So that's weird timing actually, but the 23rd, 2 days from now, and I'll be at Max's. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Probably disastrously.
Probably. I mean, if worst comes to worst, I'll probably just stream it, maybe from my phone, for one round. Then upload that to YouTube because that still counts. That's what I was gonna do at Too Many Games, actually. Yeah.
Your back riders were finishing.
Yep, we're done, unfortunately. Kevin has to go to bed.
I do, yes. Because you keep pushing these back later and later.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean, oh, come on?
You need to take initiative.
Initiative, I do, and then you just don't appear.
Oh, Trey, where are you streaming? Monster Hunter? Like, cause I never know when you're having dinner and shit. Monster Hunter, let's go. Comfy stream. All right. Well, if you're up, I can finally drop a host.
Host him to his own stream.
Heck yeah. But what were we saying? Right. It doesn't matter. So next one's 23rd. Oh god, that's Thursday too. God, that's so annoying. Okay. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, and see you.